Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to work on showing you how to do a quick and easy border for your corner to corner afghan. Your corner to corner could be square or it could be rectangle, and this particular border is really easy to do, and it doesn't matter on the size of your C2C because it'll work out either way. Today I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. So in the corner to corner, it appears like you have boxes, right? So you've been going across on a diagonal and you've been making up these like step ladders. So it's been step, 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 step all the way. So what happens is that you end up with these little boxes, and how do you get to play with those really quite equally? Now the thing about it is that if you're attaching corner to corners together to make particular designs, what happens when you go to sew something, for example, if you use a certain color here, when you hit this color, it'll look like it's off unless you use the exact same color. But the other square on the other side of this that you're attaching to could actually be a different color completely. Therefore the join is really quite obvious. So a nice thing to do if you're doing this kind of concept is just add a simple border so that you can have consistency when you're attaching your squares together. If you're not attaching your squares together and just want a simple border just to finish it off really quite nicely, it is really a two-step process. We're gonna do round number 1 and then round number 2 in order to satisfy it. So now I have a mini example, and let's cover the basics of that. So here's my mini example, and my friend Kathy complains about this all the time, is that it is looking like it's not square. So that happens when your tension is a little bit tighter in the decreasing motion. So it happens that way. So when you're doing your decrease, you gotta just make sure you're taking it easy on the yarn. But the border actually provides a nice kind of like check and balance in order to bring things back together. The first thing that you're gonna want to do, even if it's a square or a full afghan, let's get rid of your loose ends. So let's just show you how to do one. So put it onto a darning needle and just drag it through the top edge, just right up underneath. Don't mess with the edge at all. Just drag it up underneath just for the first box only because it matches the color, and just drag it under for once and drag it under the other way in a different path twice, and in the other direction one more time, a third time. So once you have dragged it through 3 times, it's pretty much in there for life. So it'll never fall out on you. So just grab your scissors and just cut it straight down into the project like so. So go back and do the starting one here, and if you have any other ones that you did because your afghan might have used up more than one yarn ball, just go back through and just weave in all your ends first. So I'm gonna do the other one off camera, and then I'll meet you right back here. So regardless if your corner to corner is a rectangle or a square, it'll still work out because the number of boxes in either direction really don't matter for this particular border. So what you want to look at is that each one of these are a box. So this is one box, and this is another box, and another. So what I want to do is I want to grab another yarn strand. You can use the same color if you wanted to. I'll use a different one just for tutorial reasons, and we're gonna start off on one corner. So let me get my yarn ready. You're gonna use the same kind of yarn that you use for your particular project and the same size hook so it stays in balance. So next what we're going to do is just grab another piece of yarn strand and just create a slip knot and throw it onto your hook. Now I want you to go into a very corner. Don't go into a gap space. Go right into an actual stitching area of a corner and just go right in and do an attach. So just a slip stitch and attach it, and leave this yarn strand so it's a little bit long just like you see here, so you can use the darning needle to really effectively hide it in the future. Chain up 1, and in the same one you just did the join, I want you to single crochet and then chain 2. So 1 and 2, this is gonna be a corner, come into the exact same space. So the neat thing about this is that that chain 2 I just told you about is gonna be consistent all the way around. So chain 2 and then jump into the space in between the sets of boxes. So here's the space right here. You can clearly see it. So just single crochet into the space and then chain 2, and then go into the next space where the other boxes are separated and single crochet and chain 2. Next space, single crochet and chain 2. When you get to the other side, which will be a corner, you're gonna go right into an actual stitch. Don't go into a space, but go right to a stitch itself and just start it with a single crochet and then chain 2, and then in the same space or the same stitch you're gonna single crochet. So that is your corner space that you just created, and just turn your project and chain 2, and then just keep jumping in the spaces all the way around. So chain 2, So 1, 2. So by working in the spaces like this, you're not impeding on any stitch work of the existing C2C. So chain 2 and go right into an actual stitching area of your corner. Sometimes your stitch work can be tight, so single crochet, chain 2, same spot again so that you can turn your corner, chain 2 and keep advancing. So you're gonna do that all the way around on your particular project, no big deal, and then I will meet you at the end of this round. When you get all the way around, you're just going to chain your 2 and then just join it to the first single crochet that you had. Just to let you know, I am using Caron Simply Soft here online right now with a 5.5mm size crochet hook. It doesn't matter though, you're gonna use the hook and the yarn that matches your existing project. So now we're gonna begin the final round, and in the final round we're going to slip stitch to the first chain 2 space, which is right in the corner. So go right into the corner, slip it first to begin, and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and in the rules of crochet, chaining a 3 is usually a double crochet, and in this case it is. So this is 1 double crochet, and I want you to put 4 more into the same one, into the same chain 2 space. So with the chaining 3 plus 4 double crochets, that gives you an answer of 5. Let's count those out together. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now you just immediately see this straggler that you had, you're just gonna bring it up and you're gonna put it as if it's part of the chain 2 space, and it will hide it right in position. So each one of the chain 2 spaces in between the corner will each get 3 double crochets. So 1, and go right up over top of that straggler so that it's trapped underneath there. So you could put 3 into this one, so then advance to the next chain 2 space and put 3 into that one, again going up over top of that straggler. So 1, 2 and 3, and then finally do the straggler again one more time. The third time's a charge, the next chain 2 space. So 1, 2 and 3, and then put that straggler in behind, and then it's out of the way. So it's pretty much stuck underneath. So then you just continue to advance until you get to the next corner. So it's 3 double crochets in each chain 2 space all the way around, except for the corners. So when you get into a corner chain 2 space, you're always gonna apply the same thing, 5 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. So that allows it, there's enough in there to allow it to turn the corner. So just advance to the next chain 2 space right after it and put in 3 double crochet, and then put 3s all the way across until the next corner, and then the next corner you'll put in 5. Do that all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of this round. So when you get all the way around, you're gonna put 3 double crochets in the last space. You've already filled in the corner that you started with, so you're just gonna slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3. So slip it and then just cut your yarn, and you're going to just use a darning needle. It's the best way to do it. You can weave in your ends. I've never had success in ends that are woven in that are not, that will never fall out. So just grab your darning needle and just take a few moments and just hide this loose end in. So just peel it back and just go in the direction from which you just came, just guiding it underneath the stitch work. So go once and then go in the other direction for twice, and the other direction 3 times as a charm. So once it's in and out 3 times, it'll never fall out on you, and then you can just trim it right down to the project, and then you don't need to worry about it. The other one you were burying as you went, but as a precaution, if you would like to do it, you have been burying it underneath the stitches. Chances are it will not fall out, but if it's kid oriented, you may want to just give it that extra darning needle just to come back in the other direction from which you came. Again, guiding it once and then going back in the other direction. You've already hit it really well anyway, so just as a precaution, just to make sure that it looks good. So this is how you would complete a nice easy border for a corner to corner afghan. It's really quite simple, and this is awesome. So for my crochet cruises, for the Alaskan crochet cruise, please do your borders, and you can see now it truly does look square, so my friend Kathy doesn't need to worry, and nobody else does either. So until next time, have a great day. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.